Welcome back, racing fans! It's that Buster time of the week once again when we take a look at the next Formula 1 race. As always, I'm Chip and this is the preview and predictions video for the 2019 Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Complete with drinking game, of course. Frankly, after the race in Shanghai, the 1000th Grand Prix counting towards the World Drivers' Championship was as interesting and well received as my, history-infused previous video. Baku needs to be a thriller this weekend. Not that I'm, terribly excited about another crash fest like we had in 2017 and last year. Anyway, the Baku City Circuit is the newest venue on the F1 calendar, with the first race here occurred all the way back in 2016. Even though that first event was run as the European Grand Prix, which is stupid. The country of Azerbaijan is as European as Mongolia. For 2017 and onwards, it became known as the Azerbaijan GP. Weirdly, as on-track action is concerned, the 2016 race was very different to the other F1 races that were held at Baku. That first race in Baku was so dull. It made this year's Chinese GP seem like a day at the zoo. Then in 2017 and 18, all hell broke loose. Lap 1 incidents, wall touches, carbon fiber flying everywhere, collisions between teammates, safety cars, red flags, road rage moments, the lot. And from a certain point of view, I guess it's not that hard to understand why if you look at the layout of the 6 kilometers track. A very twisty section through the old part of the city, filled with, slow and medium slow corners, some 90-degree corners, boo, and some straights. One of which, even though not technically speaking a straight line, is the longest flat-out section on the entire F1 calendar, measuring no less than 2.2 kilometers. Being a city circuit, the asphalt is neither grippy nor abrasive, but that means it will also evolve quite a lot during the weekend. On the aerodynamic side of things, it really is a balancing act. Low drag for the long acceleration zones, but also enough downforce for the twisty old city section. Due to the track's layout, tires aren't going through a lot around Baku, lateral forces wise, even though tire stress under acceleration and deceleration is quite pronounced. Speaking of tires, Pirelli brings to Baku the C2, C3 and C4 compounds, which, again, just like in China, I have no issues whatsoever with this selection. A standard one-stop strategy is feasible for the likes of Ricciardo, Perez and even Hamilton maybe, but a two-stopper should be the norm for everyone else. Especially since this is Baku and we will have our fair share of lockups. Good. The more pit stops, the better. Now let's take a look at some major talking points ahead of the Grand Prix. Number 1. Big contrast between Saturday and Sunday for Haas. With that Ferrari power unit in the back of their car and, some other bits as well from Ferrari, Haas has a very fast car at the moment. In fact, on certain occasions, they were actually faster than Red Bull this year. However, the car is a nightmare to set up. No matter how fast it is over one lap, in race stream mode, it slips towards the back of the field. Here in Baku, with a setup required to work on both the twisty section and on the straights, I'm afraid the American team will be left for dead on Sunday. During quali, however, don't be surprised if you see both Magnussen and Grosjean in the top 8. Over one lap, that car is seriously quick. Number 2. New internal combustion engines for both Red Bull and Toro Rosso. Yep, Honda are not messing about. With only 3 races in the rearview mirror so far, Honda are wasting no time in bringing major upgrades for both their teams. Even though the reliability of the Honda power unit was, surprising, let's say, this year, this new ICE unit is even more dependable with, some performance improvements as well. Truth be told, I'm not expecting it to make miracles for Red Bull. the gap to Mercedes and Ferrari is quite big performance-wise. I'm more interested in what it can do for Toro Rosso. They appear to be quite lost in the shuffle of the super competitive midfield at the moment. But with a little more power and a little more reliability, they can start to challenge for the top 10 consistently. Maybe even the top 8. Number 3, new bits and pieces for Ferrari. The red team are taking the initiative here. Historically, teams tend to bring upgrades, major upgrades, aero-wise and chassis-wise for the Spanish Grand Prix. Not this year, not Ferrari. They have underperformed massively so far in 2019, and they are actually fast-tracking this first batch of upgrades. Which again, considering that those long straights and fast corners in sectors 1 and 3 in Baku are right up their alley, it makes total sense. Come on Ferrari, better show up late at the party than not at all. Number 4, crashes. Crashes, okay, now it's time to talk a bit about why I dislike the Azerbaijan GP so much. I really believe that the races in 2017 and 2018 round Baku were among the worst in the hybrid era. Sorry, but I do. I know it's an unpopular opinion. How can you say that? We had so many crashes, so many safety cars, we had no idea who was going to win or even finish the race. Crashes, mayhem. Yeah, that's kinda my issue with it. You see, I don't like to watch supposedly the best drivers in the world crashing the fastest cars in the world. I'm not saying I've enjoyed the 2016 snooze fest, on the contrary, I was fast asleep, but surely a demolition derby is just as bad. It's the perception such a race leaves on an F1 fan. Yes, it is entertaining, it is spectacular, it is even thrilling to watch a race descend into chaos. But it's not Formula 1, or at least it shouldn't be. Let me put it this way. The F1 drivers should be these superhero figures racing against each other in order to score the highest possible result in every race. When a driver makes contact, 5 seconds into a race, smashes into the barriers, or takes out of the race another driver, yeah, superhero doesn't come to mind. Anyway, I'm rambling. Sorry about that. To put it simple, when I watch Formula 1, I want to see drivers doing something that I will never be able to do. Crashing, I can do that just fine. Moving on. Finally, number 5, the Mercedes 1-2 streak comes to an end. I mean, between the new power units for Red Bull, the new aero bits for Ferrari, and the high possibility of a crazy race, statistically, it's almost a certainty Mercedes won't finish 1 and 2 on Sunday. In its entire history, Formula 1 has never produced a season where one team has scored 4 consecutive 1-2 finishes in the first 4 races of a season. The current record of 3 was first achieved by Williams in 1992 and is now matched by Mercedes. Can they go one better on Sunday? Can they actually rewrite the record books? For the sake of this championship, hopefully not. Right, enough with this stuff, let's get serious. Drinking game for the 2019 Azerbaijan GP goes like this. 1 sip for every pit stop, 2 sips for every contact and overtake, and down your drink if the safety car is deployed, be it virtual or real. Which brings us neatly to the small matter of the predictions. Starting from pole position, Sebastian Vettel. Because come on Seb, come on, you're a 4-time world champion for goodness sake. Drive like one for once. Fastest lap, Charles Leclerc. Because I can't wait to see how the Ferrari goes from turn 16 to turn 1. Come the end of the race from P10 to P5. Perez, Norris, Raikkonen, Ricciardo, Gasly and Verstappen. P4, Lewis Hamilton. P3, Charles Leclerc. P2, Valtteri Bottas. And the winner from pole position, Sebastian Vettel. Because if the Mercedes drivers get any further away in the standings, we might see the championship actually wrapping up in Japan. And there you have it, my predictions for the 2019 Azerbaijan GP. As you can tell, I really wish Ferrari to turn things around a bit. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Please let me know in the comment section down below. Also, let me know your thoughts for Baku. what do you think of this track? If you have any other F1 related question, please fire away. I'll be more than happy to try and answer it for you. Hit that like button if you think I've earned it, maybe even the subscribe button as well, and please make sure to share this video with a racing fan. Thanks so much for watching. I've been Chip. You can find me on Twitter at chip_DGS and on facebook.com/digitalgrandstand. Catastrophically boring or bumper cars galore. Which one, Baku? Which one this year? Cheers. Welcome. Let's go. Preview and predictions video for the